It was a crisp autumn morning when five friends, Aisha, Bilal, Zara, Omar, and Farah, decided to go hiking. They had heard about a new trail called Mystery Peak, known for its breathtaking views and challenging paths. Excited for an adventure, they packed their bags and set off early. As they climbed higher, the trail became steeper and the forest denser. The friends laughed and chatted, enjoying the fresh air and the rustling of leaves underfoot. After a few hours, they reached a fork in the path. One trail was well-trodden, while the other was overgrown and barely visible. "Let's take the less traveled path," suggested Bilal, always the thrill seeker. The others hesitated but eventually agreed, curious about what lay ahead. The path grew narrower and more difficult to navigate. The trees seemed to close in around them, and an eerie silence replaced the cheerful sounds of the forest. Suddenly, they stumbled upon an old, abandoned cabin. Its windows were shattered, and the door hung loosely on its hinges. "Let's check it out," Omar said, his curiosity piqued. They cautiously approached the cabin and pushed the door open. Inside, they found dusty furniture, cobwebs, and strange symbols carved into the walls. "This place gives me the creeps," Zara whispered, her voice trembling. Just as they were about to leave, the door slammed shut behind them. The friends tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped. The air grew colder, and they heard faint whispers echoing through the cabin. Farah, the most level-headed of the group, suggested they look for another way out. They searched the cabin and found a hidden trapdoor leading to a dark basement. With no other options, they descended into the basement. The air was damp and musty, and the only light came from their flashlights. As they explored, they found old photographs and journals detailing the lives of the cabin's previous inhabitants. The journals spoke of strange rituals and a curse that befell anyone who entered the cabin. Suddenly, they heard footsteps above them. The friends huddled together, their hearts pounding. The footsteps grew louder, and the trapdoor creaked open. A shadowy figure stood at the top of the stairs, its eyes glowing in the darkness. "Who are you?" Aisha called out, her voice shaking. The figure didn't respond, but began to descend the stairs. The friends backed away, their flashlights flickering. Just as the figure reached the bottom, a gust of wind blew through the basement, extinguishing their lights. In the darkness, they felt a cold hand touch their shoulders. They screamed and ran in different directions, desperately trying to find an exit. Omar stumbled upon a hidden passage and called out to the others. They regrouped and followed the passage, which led them to a small, hidden door. They burst through the door and found themselves back in the forest, the cabin nowhere in sight. Exhausted and shaken, they made their way back to the main trail. As they reached the safety of their car, they vowed never to speak of what happened at Mystery Peak. But deep down, they knew they would never forget the horrors they encountered that day.